What if I told you that working for a nonprofit can completely wipe out your student loan debt? Well, there's actually a federal program that could help you remove your entire remaining balance, but there's a catch. And in this video, I'm gonna break down everything you need to know about how to qualify, what can stop someone from qualifying, what specific loans qualify for this loan forgiveness, and what exactly you need to do to be in position to qualify for this type of opportunity. Let's dive. What's going on, guys? My name is Timothy Wright. We're back again with another video. And in this video, I want to discuss with you something special. So many people don't know that working for a nonprofit, whether it's your nonprofit or someone else's nonprofit, could be the gateway to you getting all of your student loans forgiven. But there's a few stipulations and requirements that must be met before you can do so. Let's talk about it. All right, let's start with the basics so we can weed out anyone who may not qualify for this at the moment. In order for you to qualify, the very first stipulation is you must be working full-time for a nonprofit organization, but in this case, it only has to be 30 hours a week. Now, this forgiveness program is called the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, also known as the PSLF. Now, this program can and will forgive all of your student loan debts after 120 payments or 10 years of you contributing to your student loan debt. But with those 120 payments, because this is actually one of the biggest qualifying factors, each payment you have to already be working for a 501c3 or working within a 501c3 for you to qualify. So let's say, for example, if you had your loan already for 5 years and you've been working just for a private sector company or just for a traditional organization and you've been paying off your student loan debt, none of those payments actually apply. The first payment doesn't apply until you are officially working full-time for a nonprofit organization or you're working full-time within your nonprofit organization. That's when the payments will actually start counting towards those 120 payments. Now, all loans aren't created equally. The loans that are going to qualify for this type of program are going to be direct loans. And direct loans are only issued directly from the U.S. Department of Education. So this includes direct subsidized loans, direct unsubsidized loans, direct plus loans, and direct consolidation loans. So if one of your student loans that you have isn't one of those, they may not qualify, but there's an opportunity for you to consolidate those loans into a direct loan, which we'll talk about later on in the video. So loans that don't qualify are going to be federal family education loans, also known as FFEL loans. And then also Perkins loans won't qualify as well. And the reason being is because federal family loans are private loans that are backed by the government. And then Perkins loans were issued by colleges, but those are now at a discount. So what I would do right now, even while we're watching this video, is I would go to studentaid.gov, and on your studentaid.gov platform, this is where obviously you apply for student grants, student loans, and things of that nature. You'll be able to see what type of loan that it is that you have. And you want to see that direct loan next to your loan type. If you do, you're in the clear. So let's talk about now how to actually qualify for this loan forgiveness. As mentioned before, you must be working for a nonprofit, but not only that, the nonprofit has to be 501c3. Now, again, as I mentioned, this could be your 501c3 organization that you're running and you're working for, or this can be another person's organization that you're working for, but you have to be a full-time employee working at least 30 hours per week. Now, as far as those qualifying payments, you must make 120 payments, also equivalent to 10 years, under the Income-Driven Repayment plan, also known as the IDR. And the cool thing about the IDR, this actually lowers your monthly payment towards your student loan forgiveness, but they must be made on time and in full. It can never be a late payment, and it can never be any partial payments made in order for you to keep qualification. And we'll discuss in just a second of actually how to apply for the IDR plan. Now, the next thing you have to do in order to remain in compliance for this loan forgiveness is you actually have to submit a employment certification form annually. Now, I want you to write this down because this has to be done every single year of those 10 years. And this is just going to show that you are actually still working for this 501c3 organization. And no, you don't have to work for the same organization the entire time, but you have to be working for a 501c3 organization. So if you're starting at this organization and then you transition over to this one, it's not going to change anything. It's still going to apply for you to be qualified, but you don't want to spend a whole lot of time not working for a nonprofit organization, because that's how you'll lose qualification. And you'll submit that employer certification form on studentaid.gov as well. Hey, if you've been thinking about starting a nonprofit, but you feel like you don't have the knowledge to do it yourself and you don't have the time to learn, you don't want to make any mistakes, did you know that we offer a done-for-you service where we'll do everything for you as far as filing directly with your state, creating your policies, your procedures, your bylaws, a marketing plan. We'll get your EIN number, set you up a Duns & Bradstreet account, apply for your 501c3 short form or long form, create you a marketing plan, provide you with 5 to 10 local current grants in your area, as well as creating you a website. If it's something that you're interested in, I want you to do me a favor, click the link in the description, watch the video on the other side, and if it's something that you're interested in, we would love to serve you. Now let's get back to the video. Now let's talk about how to apply for the IDR program. The cool thing about this is it's completely free, doesn't cost you anything at all except for your time. And again, you'll be applying for this on studentaid.gov. When you get to the platform, just search in the search bar, apply for Income-Driven Replacement Plan. You'll need to log on to your FastFlow account. And once you get there, there's also instructions on how to do so. Now, once you finish the application, you will manually be able to select a plan you desire as far as your monthly payments, but the system will also create you a plan which will more than likely have the lowest possible rates. And that's going to be the recommended option. Now, it's important to note that the IDR payments are based on your income, which is the key reason why a lot of people end up paying lower amounts than higher amounts. So you're going to need to also submit your last 2 years of taxes. If you have that, there'll be a link that'll connect you to the IRS. Well, they'll need your last 2 years of income tax, which will then justify the amount of income that you've been making. Now, if your income has increased or decreased since the last time you filed taxes, you'll be able to update your most recent pay stub, letting them know what it is that you're making, and then they'll base your payments off of that. Now, the loophole with this IDR plan, because it's based on your income, let's say if you have very, very little income or possibly no income at all, but you're still working full time, this can now cause your repayments for your student loan to be zero or to be a very, very small amount, which is why they'll need those pay stubs and taxes to make the proper determination. Now, once you confirm all your details, you'll sign and submit, and the application normally takes about 2 to 4 weeks before you know if you're approved or not. Now, after you're approved, you'll receive a letter of your payment amount, your payment date, and then I just want to remind you again that you have to submit the certificate annually of you actually being employed. Without the certification, you will completely alleviate this opportunity for you and it won't be beneficial. Now, as stated before, I just want to make sure I'm clear. Only payments through the IDR plan go towards your loan forgiveness, right? I want you to write this down. Only payments towards the IDR plan go towards the loan forgiveness. So this doesn't start for you until you are approved. I'm sure you already have loans right now. You're already in college. You're already making payments on these things. But the 10 years, the 120 payments doesn't start until the IDR plan is approved and you start making payments through them. Payment 1, okay, now you know you have 119 payments left before whatever amount that you have left will be completely forgiven. Now, a pro tip, if you plan on utilizing this loan forgiveness, is the moment after you apply for the IDR and you get approved, you then want to immediately go ahead and submit your certificate of employment for the loan forgiveness, so they'll already have that. And then what I would do is I'll just go to my Google Calendar or go to your phone calendar, whichever one you use, and I would just make an annual reminder. At this time, on this date, submit your annual filing again, right? It's pretty sure it's going to be a copy and paste in most cases for you. You may have to change the amount of income that you make if it changed at all. You'll submit that to studentaid.gov and boom, you'll be in the clear. But this is something that you have to do annually and nobody's going to remind you of this. You have to do this on your own. I just want to be clear on that. Now, some common mistake that you want to avoid is you want to ensure that the nonprofit that you're working for, if you're working for another company, you want to ensure that this organization is 501c3. You can ask the founders, ask the board members for their letter, just so you will have that and you'll be able to submit that as well. Or if you're working for your own nonprofit organization, you must ensure that you remain in compliance as far as your 501c3 for the remainder of this 10 years. So this means that you want to make sure that you're submitting this annual 990 form year after year so you stay in compliance. It's free, it's fast, and the application is all online. So there's no reason why you shouldn't stay in compliance for the remainder of this transition if you are a 501c3 organization running it yourself. All right, the next mistake that people make is because they're already in a repayment plan for their student loans is they believe that this qualifies for the student loan forgiveness, which is the furthest thing from the truth. In order for you to qualify for this particular loan forgiveness, you must be making repayments through these 4 platforms. Number 1 is the IDR. That is going to be the number 1 recommended place for you to start making your payment plans through. Number 2 is a platform called Pay As You Earn, also known as PAYE. Another option is called Revised Pay As You Earn. And then the 4th option is called ICR, Income Contingent Repayment Plan. If you're not making repayments to your student loan debt under these 4 programs only, then you cannot qualify for the PSLF. So just to remove all the confusion, go to studentaid.gov and apply for the IDR. That is the option that you want to take. Now, what doesn't count towards these 120 payments? Any deferments. Any deferments that you make within this 120 payments will not count. So in my opinion, I would recommend that you want to try to make all these payments upfront in full without deferring, without paying half, and especially without being late. And then last but not least, if you don't qualify for the PSLF, you can actually still get loan forgiveness through the IDR. The only difference is that the IDR is a 20-year plan while the PSLF is a 10-year plan. So if you're making payments through the IDR for the PSLF, you do that for 10 years. years, which is 120 payments, and then the remaining balance of your student loan debt can be forgiven. If for some reason you don't get approved for the PSLF, then you can still be approved for loan forgiveness through the IDR, but it will just be 20 years instead of 10 years. So as we wrap up here, if you're someone that works full-time for a nonprofit organization at least 30 hours a week, this nonprofit organization is a 501c3. You also have student loan debt. You are willing or already making payments through the IDR. You can go qualify on studentaid.gov for this as well. Once you're approved, you want to make sure you start submitting your annual certificate of employment through studentaid.gov as well. This is going to ensure that you remain in compliance. You never want to make any late payments. You never want to make any partial payments. Everything has to be made in full. You can work at multiple different nonprofits, so you don't have to stay at the same nonprofit for 10 years, and this nonprofit can be yours or someone else's. And if you meet all these qualifications, then you may very well be in a position to get all your student loan debt forgiven, tax-free as well. So we hope this video has been extremely informative and impactful for you. Hopefully it's kind of giving you some hope about what your possibilities are in this nonprofit space. If you didn't know about this, but you've already been working with the nonprofit for the last few years, I want to encourage you to immediately start getting on this. Go to studentaid.gov and see what type of loan that you have. And if you have a direct loan, go ahead and start the process. The worst thing that can happen is you get denied. Again, my name is Timothy Wright, the founder and CEO of the Nonprofit Launcher. I definitely approve this message. Hopefully this video has been extremely valuable for you. If it was, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, drop some fire emojis down below. Share this video with a friend who you know need to hear it, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.